In today's healthcare environment, how can leaders ensure that they get the right people in the right positions to, lead those organizations forward? What do they need to do, Steve?
Well, I think what happens that I've seen is people just hire bodies and they want to fill this position and they don't always select the right person. So I think when we interview people, you really need a good interviewer in the human resource department. I have to tell you, I hate to tell you this, but in my whole career, I only found one person who was the very best interviewer and brought in the best prospects in any hospital I ever worked in.
Mm-hmm.
Every person she brought in was great. They worked out well. They stayed. They made a mark on the facility, and that was the only person who had foresight and was able to. I shouldn't say profile, but was able to pick out the trait of the person that would be best in that job.
How do you get leaders to agree on what is the adjustments that need to be made? Kind of like what you were saying, Steve, if everybody doesn't agree on how we're going to do this, how do we overcome that disparity or that obstacle? And I'm going to throw that to you, Sharon, and probably ping back over to you, Steve, for comment. Go ahead, Sharon.
That's a great question, and one I think that organizations face every single day, whether they're in healthcare or in some other industry. I think that the key is being aligned. If they're not aligned with what the problem is, they can't solve the problem. And you and I have talked many times about asking the right questions. Yes. If you ask the right question, you solve for X. If you don't, perhaps you're solving for Y, and you'll never get to where you need to be.
Yes.
So the first thing to me would be aligning the values and the culture, as well as that purpose, bringing it all to fruition, and then asking that right question.
Feel that they're empowered, that they have a say. There's no judgment, and not everything that people suggest are going to be adapted, but enough will that changes to make life easier.